What is up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. And yes, as you can read by the title and my notification on Facebook, if you saw it, today is a big announcement. I'm using it for today's podcast episode, so you know why I said let's get one of them out of the way. It is not my huge monumental, not the huge monumental podcast changing one. It's not that one. But it is one of the bigger announcements. For sure that this was one of them that I was going to release on the season premiere, season 9. So it's bigger than the one I was going to release in the season finale. It's not like huge announcement, but it's pretty big, and it's going to change this podcast, for sure. And let's cut straight to the chase. Okay, the announcement is that I am going to be making graphic designs and pictures from here on out. So when I do like January, I don't know how often I'll be using it. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be doing it with monthly power rankings. We'll see. Today is my first time actually experimenting with it, so I think we're going to experiment it with even more, and then we're going to start transitioning into using it for a lot more things. But I think we're going to only use it for a certain amount of things. I did make one for today. Just like pictures, graphic designs, and stuff. For my podcast. I'm going to experiment with them and keep practicing with it, and then I'm eventually going to transition into using it for every podcast idea, every podcast idea that I do on here. That's not just a normal podcast episode. I'll just be using it in there like I am today. So should I show you the one that we did today? No. But we gotta review yesterday's NHL games first, and then we will show you. Bruins take on the Sharks. Vinny Letteri, second goal season by Astor and Wallstrom, 9:21 first period. Barclay Goodrow, fourth goal season by Nico Sherman, tied Delandria, 13-16 first period. David Pastrnak, 22nd goal season power play goal by Zach and Lindholm. 7:02 second period. Wilson Smith, 7th goal season by Grenlund. 8:52 second period. Fabian Zetterlund, 13th goal season by Will Smith. 15:18 second period. Charlie Coyle, 11th goal season by Portress. And Martian, 8:22 in third period. Charlie Coyle again, second of the night, second of the period. Both of the season by Matthew Portress and Mason Lohrey, 14-11 in the third period. Brad Marchand, 17th goal season, the empty nets by Pastrnak and Carl, 18:45 third period. Lars Lindholm, 8th goal season, the empty nets by Charlie Coyle and Andrew Peak, 19:35 in the third period. Bruins, third period comeback victory over the Sharks that propels them into the second wildcard spot out of the East right now. The Avalanche take on the Wild on a 3-game losing streak heading this. The Avalanche are very hot. Jake Middleton, 7th goal season by Oregon, and Freddie Gaudreau, 12-18 in the first period. Nathan MacKinnon, 18th goal season by Samuel Girard, 18:52 second period. Of course, Nathan MacKinnon. Jacob Trenin, 4th goal season by David Juracek in Oregon. I don't think that's how you say it, but that's how it's going to spell. Looks like a little bit. So yeah, 2:08 in the third period, and the Brock Favorite, 6th goal season by Ryan Hartman Middleton, 3:43 in the third period. 26 saves and 27 shots against Marc-Andre Fleury. A phenomenal performance by Marc-Andre Fleury. Wild ended 3-game losing streak and a bit of an upset on the road in Colorado. Great game. Kraken take on the Sabres. Jack Quinn had goal seen by Owen Powell and Peyton Krebs, 5:07 in the first period. John Hayden first goal of the season by Stevens and Riker Evans, 5:34 in the first period. Chandler Stevenson, 8th goal of the season by Bjorkshire and Riker Evans. 7:06 in the first period. Matty Beniers, 10th goal season power play goal by Chandler Stevenson and Vince Dunn. 6:41 second period. Jason Zucker, 16th goal season power play goals by Dowling and Tate Thompson. 9:31 second period. Tate Thompson, 20th goal season by Samuel Olsen and Peyton Krebs. 15:38 second period tie game. Jamie Alexiak, 4th goal season by Shane Ray McCann. 16:34 second period. Adam Lawson, 3rd goal season by Jerry McCann and Toland. 10:25 in third period. Alex Tuck, 15th goal season by Zucker and Cousins. 18:39 third period. Jared McCann, 14th goal season, the empty net by Jamie Alexiak and Adam Larson. It's a minute and 4 seconds left on the clock. Kraken pick up a huge 2 points as they defeat the Sabres at home, 4-6. Blues take on the Knights. Braden Shenlong, goal season by Hollow and Jordan Kyrou, 8:25 in first period. Tomas Hurdle, 16th goal season, power play goals by Doriev and Shet Theodore, 14:09 in first period. Nathan Walker, 5th goal season by Philip Broberg and Frasco, 17 seconds left in the first period. Luke Neighbor, 13th goal season by Robert Thomas and Pareko, 6:31 second period. Brett Howden, 16th goal seasons by Shet Theodore and Brendan McNabb. 1:25 second period. Camp Fowler, 5th goal season, power play goal by Kyrou Pomnatovic. 31 seconds left in the second period. Jack Eichel, 22nd goal season, Russia Theodore and Petrangelo. 16:58 third period, and Pavel Doyev, 20 goal season, Russia Theodore and Jack Eichel. 30 seconds left in the clock. No goal, no overtime. And then the shootout, Brayden Shen, shootout winner. Blues let the Knights come back, but still pick up a huge 2 points. Leafs take on the Lightning. Austin Matthews, 19 goal season by Matthew Knight, Alvarez and Lawson, 4-6 in first period. Nylander, 28th goal season by Morgan Riley and Steven Lawrence. 15:45 second period. Nick Paul, 12th goal season by Radisson. Better point, 16:07 in second period. Matthew Knight, 17th goal season by Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. 23 seconds of the second period. Darren Radisson, goal season by Hedman and Kucherov. 8:07 in third period. Matthew Knight's 18th goal season power play goal by Mitch Marner and Bobby McMahon. 10:09 third period. Nick Paul, 13th goal season, second of the night. Play goals by Brendan Hagel and Victor Hedman. 12:05 in third period. Mitch Marner, 15th goal season, Yankee net unassisted. Minute 05 left in the third period. Please take a huge 2 points over the Lightning as they still number one in the Atlantic. Islanders taking the Blue Jackets. Ken Johnson, 13th goal season, power play goal by Marchenko Veronikov. 4:52 in first period. Bo Horvat, 15th goal season by Matt Barzal and Adam Pelech. 43 seconds in the second period. Simon Holmstrom, 10th goal season, shorthanded goals by John Gabriel Pargo. 57 in the second period. Bo Horvat, second of the night, 16th goal season, power play goals by Bo Horvat and Noah Dobson. 5:47 in the second period. Hurricanes take on the Blackhawks and Freddie Anderson's return. Fred Korshav, 4th goal of the season by Ryan Donato and Courier. 9:46 in first period. Tyler Petrucci, 17th goal team, Seth Jones and Frank Nazar. 16:55 first period. Seth Jarvis, 16th goal season, Shorty. This is by John Jacob Slavin, 1:25 in second period. Yes, Perry Kakariemi. 7th goal season, Eric Robertson, Jacob Slavin, 7:26 second period. Ryan Donato, 14th goal season. Taylor Hall, Phil Kershaw with 19 seconds left in the second period. 13:37 third period. Jordan Stahl, 10th goal season. Captained by Martin Orlov, ties the game. And in overtime, Sebastian Aho, 14th goal team by Marty Nijins and Jacob Slavin. Less than a minute in the overtime. 48 shots and go for the Hurricanes. Outplayed the Blackhawks pretty heavily. They get the 2 points. Huge 2 points for the Hurricanes there. Hockey Club take on the Jets. Oli Mata, 1st goal season by Nick Schmaltz and Clayton Keller, 16 minutes in the second period. Logan Cooley, 15th goal season by Barrett Hayton. 18 seconds left in the second period. Barrett Hayton, 9th goal season by Josh Doan and Kevin Stenlund, 4:53 in the third period. Matthias Michelli, 8th goal season by Josh Doan, Barrett Hayton. 8:04 in the third period. Nino Riley, 13th goal team by Nick Ehlers and Mark Scheifele, 8:32 in the third period. There we go. Dylan DeMilo, 3rd goal season by Nick Ehlers and Sandberg, 11:48 in the third period. Clayton Keller, 16th goal season, empty net by Nick Schmaltz, 17:55 in the third period. Hockey Club upset the Jets 5-2 at home. Penguins take on the Kings. Kevin Hayes, 8th goal season, power play goal. Kings player puts in his own net, unassisted, 10:09 first period. Sidney Crowley, 13th goal season by Grislick and Bruvillier, 14:09 first period. Vinny Malkin, 9th goal season by Tomasi and Pedersen, 8:26 in second period. Adrian Kempe, 23rd goal season, power play goals by Enrico Bertandro and Spence, 16:02 in second period. Good glass, 3rd goal season by Kevin Hayes and Pickering with a minute left in the second period. Anthony Bruvillier, 11th goal season by Chris Letang and Sidney Crosby, 6:57 in the third period. 25 saves, 26 shots for, I believe, Alex Nedeljkovic. Huge W for the Penguins, 5-1 over the Kings. Outside's a bit of an upset. They try to catch some ground in the Eastern Conference wildcard race. I love the 9 games from yesterday's slate of NHL games. There's no USHL games until Thursday. In 2 days. So before I switch over to my graphic, I want to let you know this is my first time making one of these graphics, so it will improve over time. I'm not saying it's terrible, but I'm saying it will improve over time for my graphics that we'll be making. So, with that being said, let's go over this so you guys can see my first graphic that I made today. It's not terrible, not the greatest. So let's go see. Okay, here it is. It's the NHL background, simple. Outdated logos, but get better pictures. But yeah. We're doing every NHL team exceeding, meeting, or below expectations. So we did an alphabetical order here. Starting with the Anaheim Ducks. I went with the meeting expectations, right? Because if you look at the Anaheim Ducks expectations coming into the season, they were low. They were in the race there a little bit, like a month or so ago, and then they kind of slowed down as of late, for sure. And they are 18, 22, and 6 with 42 points. 7th in the wild card race, right about what they expected. Boston Bruins, I said below because of the all-season purchases they made, and Nikita Zadorov, Elias Lindholm. They locked up Jeremy Swayman long-term, huge contract, long-term. They were going in the season, and they are struggling to get in a wild card spot right now, and it's quite concerning. for the Bruins' future. Buffalo Sabres below. This was the season they expected to take a step up, and they are 6 points behind the number 9 wildcard spot. They are by far the worst team in the East right now, and it's really, really bad. Calgary Flames, I said exceeding because a lot of people, including myself, expected them to be like bottom 5 in the league, probably, honestly. And they're in a wildcard spot right now. They own that second wildcard spot out of the West right now. They occupy it, and you never know, but they hold it right now. It's way better than a lot of people expected. Carolina Hurricanes, I said meeting. You could definitely make an argument for exceeding because a lot of the people were concerned about their forward core. But about me personally, I kind of expected them to do good. But you could definitely make an argument for exceeding. I wouldn't be that surprised, but I said meeting. Right around the expectation, but you can definitely make an argument for exceeding expectations. Chicago Blackhawks, I said meeting because, again, similar to Ducks, they really didn't have any expectations. They really was expected to make some improvements, which they have made some improvements, but they also expected to stay similar to what they were last year, in a sense, like bottom of the division towards the bottom of the league, and that's what they are. The Little Avalanche, I said exceeding because it was with Georgiev and net, and another terrible goaltending tandem. We didn't know they had question marks, and yes, they're only in the first wildcard spot, but they've been one of the best teams in the league since acquiring Mackenzie Blackwood, especially if they can get the power play on the roll. The 2 points outside of the 3 in the Central and 3 points outside of number 2 in the Central. They're right there in the mix. So yeah. We got the Columbus Blue Jackets. I said exceeding because, again, with the tragedy they had to deal with this summer and the very low expectation they had coming into the season, the fact that they are 1 point outside of a wild card spot is very, very surprising to a lot of people, including myself, and they're definitely exceeding expectations. Anything different is wrong, honestly. Dallas Stars, I said slightly below because they were thought top tier Central winning, more like the favorites to win the Central Division. That was their expectations. And they are 6 points outside of number 1 in the Central right now. They started off really bad. Not really bad, but really bad compared to expectations. They're one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now, where they were. They're 6-4 in the last 10 right now, but they were for sure a couple games ago. And they're right back there in the mix. Detroit Red Wings, I said below because for a lot of people, they were expected to make that jump into the playoffs this season, and they are 7 points outside of a playoff spot right now, and they're slipping down further and further, especially with teams like the Canadiens being one of the hottest teams in the NHL, being 7-1 in the last, including being a top-tier contender, top contender in the Tampa Bay Lightning today. Senators having 52 points, Rangers on a 9-game point streak right now. Bruins have 52 points. Blue Jackets 7-1 the last time. Like, there's so many hot teams in the Eastern Conference wildcard race right now. It looks like they have a tough path to get to the playoffs right now. Edmonton Oilers, I said meeting, not because they're doing bad whatsoever, just because they were expected to do this good. They were expected to be a top tier contender in the entire NHL, and that's what they're doing right now. So I'm going to say meeting. It's basically impossible for a team like this to be exceeding, which at least you turn into a 2023 Boston Bruins. That'd be the only way you could say exceeding expectations. Florida Panthers, I said below. They're not doing bad. They're 5 points behind number 1 in the Atlantic, the Leafs. But if you look what their expectations were coming this season, defending Stanley Cup champions, back-to-back Eastern Conference champions, they had a similar. Yes, they lost a few good pieces in the free agency, but they had a very, very similar roster from last year, past 2 years, really, especially last year, though. Coming in the season, they had high expectations, and the fact that they are slipping down, they're 5 points outside of the number 1 seed in the Atlantic. I would say slightly below, not a lot, slightly below, just because of how high the expectations were. LA Kings, I said exceeding, because I literally had them missing the playoffs. Either missing the playoffs, you're in a wild card spot. I think I had them barely missing the playoffs. Not because I did not really believe in this team, but I just really like the other teams in the Central, in general, but especially the Central, like the Predators, Jets, Avalanche, and the Stars. And then the 3 teams in the Pacific. But I don't know. I think, when you're looking at this roster, it's not the greatest roster on paper, but even without Drew Doughty, he should be coming back pretty soon. I'm not exactly sure, but it's been a while since he got out. He got hurt in the preseason. He was out for like 2 to 3 months at the preseason. Been a few months since then. But yeah, the defense has been like basically suffocating without Drew Doughty. The offense has been better than expected, and Darcy Kemper's been playing out of his mind, especially compared to what expected. So I'm saying exceeding because honestly, there's 7 points outside of number one in the Pacific right now, which is closer than I thought they would be at this point of the season. Minnesota Wild, I said exceeding expectations. It's pretty obvious. A lot of people, including myself, had them missing the playoffs. You're barely making the playoffs. And the Wild are 5 points outside of number one in the Central, and they are definitely in the mix for that Central Division title this season, definitely exceeding expectations. Montreal Canadiens, obviously exceeding expectations. Not very much people had them making the playoffs, being that close to making the playoffs, let alone being in a playoff spot in late January. They're occupied the second wildcard spot after today's huge win over the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2 at home. They occupy the second wildcard spot. They're 7-2-1 in the last 10. They look like one of the best teams in the NHL right now. They look like one of the most fun teams in the NHL right now. And seeing them in the playoffs would be fun if they're able to make it. Nashville Predators below. A lot of people, including myself, had them be cup contenders maybe even this season. Had them being second in the Central is about 110 points. Right now they're 17, 22, and 7 for 41 points. 8th in the wild card race. 3rd worst in the West. 3rd worst team in the West, and the 4th worst team in the entire league. Very, very disappointing for the Nashville Predators this season. New Jersey Devils at the meeting. You could even argue below, because they're expected to be favorites to win the Metro Division this year, and they are 11 points behind the Capitals, including today's 3-2 victory over the Oilers for the Capitals, which they got outplayed pretty heavily, but Thompson carried them again. But yeah, I'd say meeting because they are in that mix and they were ahead of the Metro for a little bit there, and they're right there in the mix. But I can make an argument for below. Islanders, I said below because they were supposed to be in the wild card spot, at the very least be really contending with it, but they are 7 points outside of the wild card spot, which is 9th worst in the wild card race. It's crazy how close it is. That's just how it is for the Islanders. Rangers, obviously below. They were supposed to be favorites to win the Metro between them and the Devils. And they are struggling to make a playoff spot right now. They are 2 points outside the playoff spot behind the Canadiens, who they just lost to the other day. They are on a 9-game point streak right now. Really, one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now. They are 6-1-3 in the last 10. Just giving a 5-0 shutout over the Senators, who are also in the wild card spot right now. Rangers, in my opinion, are going to make the playoffs still, but you never know. Ottawa Senators, I said meeting. You can make an argument for exceeding because some people, including myself, I had them making the playoffs, and then I had them missing the playoffs. So I guess I had them missing the playoffs. They're the first wildcard team right now. They're playing really good. They did play a bit of an egg today. This is the Rangers, but yeah, they're just a good team. I think they're gonna make the playoffs with the Rangers, in my opinion. Philadelphia Flyers, I said below expectations because I wouldn't even say below. I could say meeting, honestly, but I said below just because they're expected to be right there in the wild card, which I guess they are the only 2 points outside the wild card spot. But I'd probably say meeting, but I think below is fair too. Pittsburgh Penguins, I said meeting because again they were expected to be around a few points outside the wild card spot, and that's where they are, the 4 points outside the wild card spot. San Jose Sharks, I said meeting expectations because that doesn't mean they're like doing good by any stretch of the imagination, but they're dead worst in the league right now, which is where they're expected to be coming into the season, honestly. Seattle Kraken, I said below because of the move they make with Brandon Montour on that decor and Chandler Stevenson, 2 big deals that probably slightly overpaid, but yeah, they made those big deals and they are 6 points outside of a wild card spot right now. They're struggling against teams that are good. They're only beating teams like the Sabres right now, which is kind of concerning. And they're gonna have a tough path to the playoff too. St. Louis Blues, I said meeting because they didn't have much expectations. I expected them to be 7th in the Central, but they are 1 point outside the playoff spot. You can make an argument for exceeding, but I didn't take into account that they're gonna hire Jim Montgomery, and I strongly believe that really, really helps their team in a lot of different ways. So that's why, in my opinion, they're so close to the wild card spot with the old coach in the same roster. They probably wouldn't be. So that's why I didn't say exceeding, but I said meeting. Tampa Bay Lightning, I said meeting expectations because they were supposed to be either a top wild card team or top 3 in the Atlantic. They're number 3 in the Atlantic right now, right about where they're expected to be. Toronto Maple Leafs, I said exceeding because a lot of people had them finishing 2nd or 3rd maybe in the Atlantic. nobody really had them finishing top in the Atlantic. I said that there's a strong possibility they could win the Atlantic. They're 5 points ahead of the Atlantic. They're starting to kind of running away with the Atlantic division right now. Pretty soon, if the other teams can't put their stuff together, and yeah, not very much people had them running away with the Atlantic division. Like Utah Hockey Club, I said meeting because I could say below, honestly, since they're 4 points ahead of Wildcats, but I had them making the playoffs coming into the season. But it's very unlikely that they did, and they're only 4 points outside the wildcard spot. So yeah, it's about meeting. Vancouver below. They had a 109-point season, I think, something like that last year. Great team. Had a very high expectation to be top tier cup contender, and then they're outside of playoff spot right now. They are only 1 point inside the playoff spot. Those things are going to make it. Definitely below expectation. You cannot really make an argument for anything different. Vegas Golden Knights exceeding a lot of people. Had them missing the playoffs. You're maybe squeaking into a wild card spot. I personally had them finishing third in the Pacific Division. But they are number one in the Pacific right now. They are number one in the Pacific right now. So that was not a lot of people bingo card. Washington Capitals, obviously they're exceeding. A lot of people, including myself, didn't even have them making the playoffs. And for the people that did have the playoffs, a lot of them only had them getting a wild card spot. They are. They are 8 points ahead of the number 2 seeded Carolina Hurricanes in the Metro Division with one less game played than them. They are running away at this Metropolitan Division and fast. So I gotta say, they're definitely blowing their expectations out of the water. Speaking of blowing their expectations out of the water, we got the Winnipeg Jets. They've been great in regular seasons past. I had them being the second wildcard team, I think. Definitely underestimated them, and they're coming in and they're 5 points 5 points ahead in the Central Division race right now. They're number 1 in the Central. They're number 2 in the league behind the Capitals, and they are just wrecking havoc right now too, along with the Capitals and the Knights, at least, and the Oilers and the Hurricanes are doing just fine themselves. So yeah, I mean, with that, I hope you guys enjoy my graphic designs. I'm telling you, this is my first time cheating around with this. I'm going to practice it. I'm going to experiment with it. I think tomorrow I'm just going to mess around with it, try to learn it a little bit better, and then eventually when I get really good at it, we're going to use it a lot more often. Yeah, I think, because I've seen a lot of cool people. I think I'm probably going to upload this to Instagram. I think I'm just going to move to Instagram. I mean, I know TikTok's up, but I don't know for the foreseeable future. I don't know. So I think I was gonna upload these graphic designs on Instagram. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this podcast episode. Hope you enjoyed the announcement. I'll give you the rest of your night. Watch live watches after live midnight. If you guys in morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're watching, start this video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. To the post notification channel if you haven't already. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's big announcement. Today's episode 24 of season 8, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 25.